Standing outside the door of love and mercy, you wonder if there's a place here for you. You know there's peace inside, but still you're searching for someone who understands the pain you've been through. While the Spirit waits with open arms, God's calling out your name. Come on in, welcome home. You are loved and you belong here now. No matter where you've been, come on in.
Come on in.
Come on in. You'll find a place of rest in the arms of Spirit. God's waited so long for your homecoming day. God knows the peace you need and the hurt you're feeling. Spirit wants to hold you and to wipe your tears away. Well, the door's unlocked, the lights are on. What are you waiting for? Come on in, welcome home. You are loved and you belong here now. No matter where you've been, come on in.
Come on in.
There is room enough in this home of love for someone just like you. Come on in, welcome home. You are loved and you belong here now. No matter where you've been, come on in, welcome home. You are loved and you belong here now. No matter where you've been, welcome home. Come on, welcome in. Welcome home. Come on, welcome in. You are loved and you belong here. You are loved and you belong here. Come on in. Aloha.
Aloha.
Welcome to Unity Church of Hawaii. We're so glad you decided to join us on this beautiful Sunday. Please stand as you are able and let's be one in the Spirit. We are one in the Spirit. We are one in the Lord. We are one in the Spirit. We are one in the Lord. And we pray that our unity will this day be restored. And we'll know we're one family by our love, by our love. Yes, we'll know we're one family by our love. We will walk with each other. We will walk side by side. We will walk with each other. We will walk side by side. And we'll guard each one's dignity and save each one their pride. And we'll know we're one family by our love, by our love. Yes, we'll know we're one family by our love. We will walk with each other. We will walk hand in hand. We will walk with each other. We will walk hand in hand. And together we'll show the world that God is in our land. And we'll know we're one family by our love, by our love. Yes, we'll know we're one family by our love. All praise to the Spirit from whom all blessings come, and all praise to the Christhood in each daughter and son, and all praise to the Spirit that makes us all one. And we'll know we're one family by our love, by our love. Yes, we'll know we're one family by our love. And we'll know we're one family by our love, by our love. Yes, we'll know we're one family by our love.
Yes, indeed. One love, one family. Hey, como mai. Welcome to Unity Church of Hawaii, where it is our vision, centered in God, we elevate global consciousness through the realization of oneness. My name is Reverend Levitt Thomas, and it is my great pleasure and privilege to be serving on the platform this morning. Unity is an all-inclusive spiritual educational movement of practical Christianity, a movement that believes and honors all the many, many paths to God. Unity has 5 basic principles. Number 1, God is. God is the source and creator of all. There is no other enduring power. God is good, and God is everywhere present. Number 2, I am. We are spiritual beings created in God's image. The Spirit of God dwells within all people. Therefore, all people are inherently good. Inherently good. Indeed. Where was I? 3. I am good, and concussion moments. 3. Think it. We create our life experiences through our way of thinking. 4. Pray it. Affirmative prayer has a power that we believe gives us a greater awareness and understanding of God. And the last principle, number 5, the most important one, and that's do it. Do it. Knowing these principles is not enough. We must live them. We must live them. And a great tool in Unity for living the principles is called affirmations. Let's see. Let's try one on for size. If you'd be so kind as to please speak with zelocity after me. I am. The expression of the presence of God. I let go and let God be God in, through, and as me. Breathe into that. We are the expressions of the presence of God. Now, what do you say we put this expression of God that is each one of you into action? If you'd be so kind as to please stand as you are able and embrace each other in that love that is you. Please embrace each other in love.
Please remain standing as you are able, and let's sing our congregation song, Divine Spirit in Me. One presence, one power, divine Spirit in me. One presence, one power, divine Spirit in me. Thought to prayer, prayer to action, divine purpose, divine attraction. One presence, one power divine. Spirit in me. 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 Thought to prayer, prayer to action, divine purpose, divine attraction. One presence, one power divine. Spirit in me. One presence, one power divine. Spirit in me. Spirit in me. Spirit in me. Spirit in me.
Thank you so much. And, you know, I want to give a special thanks, Dan Del Negro, and thank you for being with us. It's been awesome. And Garen, Dean, Kevin, you'll hear more from this band. We have an amazing band here. And I want to welcome all of you here. I'm Reverend Tim Lytle, and I have the opportunity, the privilege of being the senior minister here at Unity Church of Hawaii. Thank you. It's a divine privilege, and thank you all for being here. And if this is your first time here or first time in a long time, first time or first time in a long time, you might ask yourself, well, what's a long time? Well, do people still remember your name here? I don't know. Anyway, first time or first time in a long time. If you would stand, we'd like to bring you a gift, a kukui nut lei. We would like to welcome you here into this loving ohana. Would you please stand if this is your first time or first time in a long time? Thank you. We're honored to have you here. We're going to give you one of these leis, and we're also going to give you a packet so you can get a free breakfast, and there's information there to fill out if you would fill it out. That way we can stay in contact, and we'd like to give you a blessing. So let's get our energy going. Let's extend our energy to these wonderful new people who are here and everyone in between. Repeat after me. We bless you. We recognize who you really are. You are the love and light of God in action. You are amazing. And we celebrate you. Welcome to Unity. Let's give them some love. So good to have you here. You know, there's been a few times in the past where some people got scared when I said, we recognize who you really are. And they're like, oh no. But no, it's good. It's all good. Trust me. And we welcome all of the people who are watching on Alelo Television, who are watching our YouTube channel. We have over 1,100 people on our YouTube channel who are watching us on Facebook Live, who are watching us on our love streamers, who are watching off of our website, or we will also soon be on the New Thought channel. So let's all give them a shaka. Thank you. We love you and we bless you. And we know that there is no distance between us and you, that you are a part of this loving ohana. And so we send you our love, and we know that you are here with us in spirit, and we welcome you to this congregation. Thank you all for being here. And I imagine that there may be somebody here who was born in the month of June. If you were born in the month of June, would you please stand because we want to honor you.
Oh, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Happy birthday. Oh, happy birthday. Happy birthday. Hallelujah.
Yeah, we bless all of you. Happy birthday. Thank you.
You are the babies of imagination.
Oh,
Okay, everybody, hold on. Fasten your seatbelts. It's time for the... All right, then. This is the first Sunday of the month. Therefore, with great delight, Sukio Mahikari is here to give us all light. They'll be in the courtyard until 12:30, so please run down and get some light. It is an extraordinary experience. This Friday, the 9th, at 7 p.m. right here in the chapel, it is Ohana Movie Night. We'll be showing the movie The Shack. It is a very heartwarming and personal movie. It is awesome, so please come for that Friday at 7 p.m. right here in the chapel. Ohana Movie Night with The Shack, and I bet there'll be Bradley's world-famous popcorn. New members classes are upcoming. Please mark your calendar. And I think somebody has something to say about them.
this time you knew I was coming, didn't you?
I wanted to get out of the way. Not that you'd hurt me any, but you'd lose that collision.
All right, so,
Just saying.
hey, I've played church softball. I can go against anybody. Anyway.
We
But
could sell tickets to that, you know.
these membership classes are not only for those who would like to become members or consider becoming members, but who would like to know more about Unity. So we are lovingly calling it what you've always wanted to know about Unity, but we're afraid to ask. Because all of us have questions. I continue to have questions, and I continue to ask them. And so these two times, which will be the last Sunday in July, first Sunday in August, they'll be from 1 o'clock until 3 o'clock. We'll have classes to go deeper into Unity teachings and about this particular church. And if you're interested in becoming a member, attendance at both of those classes, because they're different, attendance at both of those classes is a requirement to become a member. So I'd love to have you come, whether you're interested in becoming a member or not. And I look forward to seeing you then. Thank you.
Outstanding. We're all asking questions because I'm convinced that the day I stop asking questions, I don't have to ask any questions, the buses come and ascension is forthwith. I don't really want that to happen in the next 30 seconds. However, if the bus makes the corner, I will gladly get on it because I will have known that I have come and I have been all that I had meant to be. All righty. Wait a minute, don't call the bus. I got sacred stuff to do. Jeez, you guys. I heard the rumble of a diesel. I thought quite possibly there was time. Okay then. I have totally lost. Oh yeah, did you guys folks absolutely know that in October will be the 80th anniversary of Unity Church of Hawaii? Isn't that cool? In 1937, Reverend Merle Hanley got on a boat. And probably, I'm going to boldly assume, the first thing on her mind was, I really hope they know how to get to these islands. 1937, it started. And now look, here we are. Yeah, well, I think we're going to have a little bit of a hootenanny, and I'd like to invite up Joanne Adams to tell us all about that.
Okay. What could be luckier than the number 7? How about 2 number 7s? How about July 7th? We are going to have our launch as a Pauhana potluck party on July 7th. And with 7/7, we said, let's call it Lucky Night, because we are lucky. We are going to be celebrating Reverend Tim and Olga Lucia joining our Ohana. We're going to have a Pauhana potluck night, and those of you who come to our potlucks know how lucky you are to participate in those. Always great food. So we'll have good food, great fun, and even some games. And will reveal the scoops about the 80th anniversary celebration. So mark your calendar for Lucky Night, Friday, July 7th. Thank you.
She thought I was gone already. All right, then. That ends the announcements, but don't despair. I invite you now to get comfortable in your chair for a time of prayer.
Holy words, long preserved for our walk in this world. They resound with God's own heart. Oh, let the ancient words impart. Words of life, words of hope, give us strength. Help us cope in this world where'er we roam. Ancient words will guide us home. Ancient words ever true, changing me and changing you. We have come with open hearts. Oh, let the ancient words impart. Holy words of our faith, handed down to this age, came to us through sacrifice. Oh, heed the faithful words of Christ. Holy words, long preserved for our walk in this world. They resound with God's own heart. Oh, let the ancient words impart. Ancient words ever true, changing me and changing you. We have come with open hearts. Oh, let the ancient words impart.
On the monitor behind us are the English words that come from the Aramaic Lord's Prayer. And these are charged with amazing divine energy. Let us say these words together. Father, Mother, birther and breath of all, create a space inside us and fill it with your presence. Let oneness now prevail. Your one desire then acts through ours as energy fills all forms. Give us physical and spiritual nourishment each day. Untangle the knots of error that bind us as we release others. Don't let appearances make us forgetful of the source, but free us to act appropriately. Age to age, from you comes the glorious harmony of life. May these statements be fertile ground from which our future grows. Ancient words ever true, changing me and changing you. We have come with open heart. Oh, let the ancient words impart. We have come with open heart. Oh, let the ancient words impart.
Yes, indeed, the ancient word still show us the way, as does the daily word of every day. Daily Word is a publication of Silent Unity. If you would like to get a copy, they're available down in Connection Central. Daily Word for Sunday, June 4th, 2017. Today's theme is Let Go, Let God. Our affirmation is, in the silence, I feel the presence and peace of God. In the silence, I feel the presence and peace of God. Let's speak this truth together. In the silence, I feel the presence and peace of God. The message continues. Jesus went to the mountaintop to pray. He left the crowds and his disciples to be fully present in the silence. My mountaintop retreat may be symbolic as I seek time apart. Whether in a chapel, a favorite chair, or quiet moments carved out from a hectic schedule, I spend time in silent communion with God. In the silence, I turn within to a private meeting place. In this inner chamber, away from outer distractions, I pray, meditate, and listen. I am open and receptive to the still small voice, to inspiration, to divine direction. Here in sacred oneness, I feel the assurance and peace of God. I relax my body, gently set aside my concerns, focus on my breathing, and allow myself to be enfolded in divine love. In the silence, there is peace as I let go and let God. Today's scripture is from Matthew 14:23. He went up the mountain by himself to pray. When evening came, he was alone there. In the silence, I feel the presence and peace of God. The reading is finished. And I invite you to settle in now for a time of meditation.
Many of you have been watching the news, the terrorist attacks in London and in Manchester, in Kabul, in Baghdad. Many people's lives have been affected. And we know that many of the terrorist attacks, in fact, the majority of the people affected and have been killed have been Muslim. We know that this is not about one's faith tradition. It is about all of us coming together, regardless of our faith tradition, knowing there is only oneness. There is only peace. I invite you, if you wish to close the outer eyes or relax your gaze, and take a deep breath, dropping into your heart space. And with each breath, allowing that heart space to open and to expand and fill this entire room, to expand and fill this entire community, this state, our country, our world. Wherever we are, God is. We know that there is only one presence, one power, active as our lives and as the universe, God, the good, omnipotence. And so we know with all people of the world, peace. We hear the words of our master teacher, peace, be still. Just as Jesus spoke these words and the waves calmed on the sea, we know that as we resonate to this truth of peace, that we set up a resonance field throughout this world, knowing that we light our light, and we shift all of humanity into knowing this is a world that works for everybody. This is a world that stands for peace. This is a world that stands for equality and justice. This is a world that is made for all of us, and we behold each person, regardless of sexual orientation, faith, ethnicity, as the presence of God, the face of God. Breathe into that, knowing we are establishing a sacred field right here. And let us go for a few moments into the silence as we connect with this one presence that is love, that is peace. Spirit, we know there is only one power and one presence, and so we open ourselves to that presence, knowing that as we allow our heart space to expand, what we expand is love. There is no fear. We allow love to come forth. And we know that love fills and permeates this sacred space, this loving ohana, knowing every need is met. That in the music, the spoken word, everything that happens here, we are ministered to right at the point of our need, and that this world is ministered to. We utter all this in love, knowing our word does not return to us void, but accomplishes all for which we send it. And we are grateful and give thanks. And so it is. Amen. Amen. Amen.
When I'm still, I can feel the peace within, the peace within my heart. When I'm still, I can feel the peace within, the peace within my heart. God is here in me. God is here in me. When I'm still, I can hear the voice within, the voice within my heart. When I'm still, I can hear the voice within, the voice within my heart. God is here in me. God is here in me. God is here in me. When I'm still, I can feel the love within, the love within my heart. When I'm still, I can feel the love within my heart. God is here in me. God is here in me. God is here in me. When I'm still, God is here. I can feel the love within in me. For real.
That was awesome. Thank you. Wow. That was awesome. Well, what we are looking at today is Spirit is doing a new work. And Spirit is always doing a new work. Spirit is not about redundancy. Spirit is not about boredom. I have a beautiful, wonderful niece who one time told us how bored she was. Well, I have news for you. Now, she broke out of her boredom, I'm glad to say, because as we step into what is ours to do, Spirit breaks up all boredom. If you're bored, I would love to have a visit with you at some point so that we can help break you out of that boredom. Because Spirit is always doing a new work, and when Spirit is doing a new work, it stretches us. It takes us out of our comfort zone. It takes us beyond what is familiar. If I had stayed in what was familiar, that would have really been a miserable life, right? And sometimes people stay with the misery they know rather than breaking out into new ground. But if we give free flow to the Spirit, Scripture says that the Spirit blows where it will. If we are ready to go with that flow of Spirit, then we are ready to use the power of this month, which is the power of imagination. When I was a child, I was told, "Tim, that's just your imagination." And my mom would say to me afterwards, "That's not a bad thing." She would always encourage it, always nurture it in me. She never saw my imagination as being a bad thing, and I'm so glad for that. Because imagination is such a powerful gift that all of us have. The power to imagine, to envision. Now, it can be misused. The power of imagination is how the atom bomb was created or how terrorist acts have occurred. The power of imagination is also how diseases have been cured, how the homeless have been cared for, how ministries to prisoners have occurred. It's from the imagination that this church in 1937 was started, because imagination, the power of Spirit, was speaking and brought forth that divine idea here. And each one of us are this great percolator presence of God bringing forth imagination. I want to share with you about one of my favorite history figures, one of them. I have a number of them, and also one of my favorite church history figures, Joan of Arc. In French, Jeanne d'Arc. Jeanne d'Arc. Joan of Arc, when she was just entering into being a teenager, was illiterate. She was a peasant girl living in France, and she began to have visions. St. Michael, St. Margaret, St. Catherine would come to her and talk with her and appear to her. And they would tell her about things that were yet to come. And so one day she went to the garrison, the head of the garrison who was working for Charles. Charles was supposed to be the king of France, but the English and those who were sympathizers to the English had taken over so much of France that Charles just had a little itty-bitty part of the country left. He had virtually no power. He wasn't even able to be coronated, and he was about to lose what he had after all of his efforts. And here was this young girl who was asking the head of his garrison, whose name was Robert, "I would like to speak to the king." And Robert's like, "Yeah, whatever." I mean, that isn't the exact translation from the French, but basically that's what he said. He's like, "No way. I mean, who are you? You're some illiterate little peasant girl who want to speak to the king? Really? You have a message from God? Really?" So Joan of Arc said, "Okay, I'll tell you what. Let me give you in full detail what you will not find out about for several days. Let me tell you exactly what's happening in a particular battle. I will give you all of the details, what's going to happen." He's like, "Okay." So she tells him this. Several days later, a messenger comes from that battlefield and says exactly what Joan had said days earlier. I mean, it's history. And he's like, whoa. Now, he's thinking, what could it hurt, right? We haven't progressed on our own efforts. This girl claims to be from God, and as she's speaking, you know, the French, their morale is going up, and they're like, yeah, we haven't been deserted after all. And so Charles says, yeah, let her come to me and speak. And so she talks with Charles. And Charles later stated, she told me things that were so private, I had only uttered them to God in prayer. And yet she was able to tell them my own words to me in detail. This is before Facebook. It's before, you know, super intelligence and microphones everywhere. How did she know all this stuff? And so they placed her at the head of their army. She was advising their generals on what to do. And would you know it? They took back the entire country of France, chased out the English, and established Charles as king, and he was coronated, all because of this little girl who got these messages that she said were from God. Now, I love plays. I love George Bernard Shaw, and he wrote the play St. Joan. And in this play, in scene 1, we have Joan talking with Robert. I hear voices telling me what to do. They come from God. Robert, they come from your imagination. Of course, that is how the messages of God come to us. God speaks to us through those divine words. In John chapter 1, verse 51, Jesus is speaking to Nathanael, who is the apostle representing the power of imagination. In the other Gospels, he's called Bartholomew. You know, like some of us have 2 names or 3 names, depending on the context, okay? And Jesus told Nathanael in John 1:51, you will see the angels of God ascending and descending upon the Son of Man. And this is a reference to the Hebrew Scriptures where Jacob sees this vision of angels going up and down on this huge ladder. And Charles Fillmore, the co-founder of the Unity Movement, says that those angels, angelos in the Greek, represents these divine messages that come to us through the power of imagination. That's how God speaks to us. As the play Peter Pan shows, You know, some kids are taught, and it's drummed out of them, stop imagining. But imagination is one of our most powerful tools, because it is through that power that Spirit does a new work and blows a new breath and brings about some new work in us and as us. It's the power of imagination. So, we have this in scene number 5. And this comes from Charles, who was crowned king. Oh, your voices, your voices. Why don't the voices come to me? I am king, not you. Now, Charles did have a bit of a vanity issue. He wasn't perfect. He might have not scored real high on an emotional intelligence test. But, you know, Joan of Arc saw him as the rightful king, supported him. And he wondered, why do the voices come to you? You're a peasant girl. They don't come to me. I'm the king. She said, they do come to you, but you do not hear them. All of us are these receivers of these frequencies, of this divine light, these divine messages. All of us, every single person here. You may have tuned it out, but it's still there. I don't know if you've ever been in a football stadium or a large stadium when the lights are all out. It can be very, very dark. Does it do any good to curse the darkness, or does it do more good to light a candle? If you light a candle, you can see it anywhere in that dark stadium, because the power of the light overrides any power of the darkness. So instead of cursing the darkness, why not light our light? Why not be the light that we are called to be? And imagination shows us the way. Haven't you had divine ideas come to you? Ways of innovating, ways of doing new things, ways of doing something amazing. You know, I think of the prison ministry that we have here and how it touches people's lives. I think of our ministries to the youth, or keeping our grounds, or the various ministries we have in this church. And I'll talk more about one of those a little later in the message. Those are all ways to shine our light. Why complain? Someone, you know, I like to greet people and talk to them, and one of them this morning, I said, how are you doing? She said, I'm doing well, and if I complain, no one listens anyway. Good. Why complain? We're here to shine our light. We're not here to tear down anyone else. We're here to be that light, and that is what Jesus called us to do. He said, you are the light of the world. And in what is called the Lord's Prayer, we were taught to pray, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. What a radical, that Jesus. He wasn't just talking about the sweet by and by. Just suck it up and wait, you know, till you get to heaven. You know that this place is going to be horrible, but just get through it. That isn't what Jesus taught us to pray or how to live. Jesus taught us to pray, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. So the powers of imagination show us ways to reach other people. Another of my favorites is Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein says this, imagination is more important than knowledge. Knowledge is limited. Imagination encircles the world. Albert Einstein could not get to where he needed to go in mathematics and in his theories without using the power of imagination, because the kind of mathematics he needed to create didn't exist yet in the realm of knowledge of people. So he knew that imagination was even more important. He goes on to say, imagination is everything. It is the preview of life's coming attractions. Our imagination is a good indicator of what is yet to come. Has a good idea come to you at some time in your life? this morning. Fantastic. Have you or someone you've known ever said, when something amazing was accomplished or someone did some innovative new thing, have you ever heard or said to yourself, that was my idea. I thought of that years ago. But, I thought of that 5 years ago. And now someone went off and did it. How dare they? Well, everyone has the opportunity to download these divine ideas, but then we need to use the power of will to act upon them. We need to use the power of wisdom to understand what is ours to do. We need to use the power of strength to persevere. We need to use the other powers and put action to our prayers. Stop waiting for someone else. Stop waiting for someone else. All of God is present right where you are. All of God is present right there as you, with you, through you. All of God. You can't divide or diminish God. You can't add water to God and make God more diluted. You can't. All of God is fully and completely present in and through and as your life. So when these divine ideas come to you, hey, sit with them. Meditate on that. See what is yours to do, and let that divine juice flow. Right? Spirit is doing a new work. When I've walked around on this island, done a lot of walking, which I love to walk. I've walked a number of times up and down Waikiki Beach. And sometimes to insulate myself, I've walked past some of the homeless people. I've looked at them. I have felt compassion. I have felt, some sense of sadness. I've walked on. We sometimes insulate ourselves. But, when I was first checking out this church, late October, early November, when I went to the Unity Worldwide Ministries website and looked at the information that was listed there for Unity Church of Hawaii, it listed several of the different ministries and those that were envisioned yet to come. And one of them that was listed was Ho'opono. And as I began to read about that, and about the prison ministry, and about other ministries that are done here, I began to weep because I could see the presence of God in action. I could see the presence of God touching people's lives. And eventually, as I went through the process, at one of the services right here, I met Eric Butler. And, it was a deluge of information. And I was overstimulated when I came here as a candidate and since. But as I met Eric, I thought, I've got to get to Ho'opono. Ho'opono meets on Monday nights at 5 o'clock, a block or two down Montserrat Avenue at that beautiful little park. And it's a spiritual literacy program where people write down sacred texts or put them in their own language. And then a meal is shared together that volunteers here have fixed. And as I joined hands with the volunteers and with the homeless, I recognized we're all the face of God. It's not us and them. What do we do about the homeless problem as if they're an alien race? It's all us. We're all in it together. And I recognized this humanity, and I saw in them the face of God. The following week, some other things were going on. I didn't get to Ho'opono until later. You know, many of them had dispersed, and they were kind of dispersed across the park. And I thought, I doubt if any of those homeless people would recognize me. I'm walking through the park, and one of them says, "Hi, Reverend Tim." I'm thinking, I only met that person once. And somehow, as we look back upon each other, it's the divine looking at itself. And I thought of this song of Karen Drucker's, "You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God." And as I see each one of your faces, and as I saw the beautiful faces at Ho'opono or wherever I've been, I've seen the divine looking back upon me, and I recognize what a great use of imagination that is to touch other people's lives, to reach out to them. We're here to help make this the world it was created to be, a world that works for everybody. We're here to touch other people's lives and not to ostracize based on ethnicity or faith or sexual orientation. We're here to wake up from our anesthesia and know that we are the divine in action. That all of these negative messages we tell ourselves about separation and lack and competition are not the reality. The reality is that we are all one. And I'd like for Eric Butler and the other volunteers with Ho'opono to please come up here. Francine and Johanna. We're on Facebook Live, right? And are there other volunteers here from Ho'opono? And I'm going to surprise you. Francine was coaching me this morning about what I needed to do and didn't know that you are our volunteers of the month. I mean, did we pull it off? I mean, we tried to really keep that secret. I mean, we had this whole thing going because Francine's in on the recognition of the volunteers. So we came up with other volunteers, which we will recognize at some point, and I signed it and all that. But we want to honor you and all of those. We have the pictures of the volunteers, Eric, Latrice, Francine, Cindy, Howard, and we are so grateful for the ministry that you do. And I don't know if just real briefly, Eric, if you want to say something, I don't know.
Briefly?
Brief?
Yeah. Thank you. I want to thank God for touching your heart and opening your eyes to see what we were doing down there. I want to thank and praise God for each one of you who got a chance to hear about it from Reverend. I thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Eric. And Eric will be down here at Connection Central. You have a table set up to give information about Ho'opono. And we have a little video to show them. Diana's going, "Oh, we're going to show the video now." So let's see this little video.
I can only imagine what it will be like.
We got the Bible here. We got the words from Unity here. We have non-religious material here. We got Buddhism, Quran, Vedas, Hinduism
is before me. I can only imagine. Surrounded by your glory, what will my heart feel? Will I dance?
At first, when I started doing the work, I thought it was just copying, and I came to realize it wasn't. And then for the second part, I interpreted what they were saying and put it in my own words, on how I applied that to my own life.
So, would you be willing to like copy 24 pages for a place to stay?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I can only imagine. Surrounded by your love.
Would this be of interest to you?
Nothing can make them work.
All right.
You make them recover.
Holding on, will we stand? Will I stand in your presence? Or to my knees, will I fall? Will I sing?
Anybody call right God?
We need you guys to help us out. You know, without you guys, it's nothing.
Thank you, Eric. Thank you, Eric, Francine, Johanna, Ho'opono. And if you would remain standing, we want to give you a blessing. Let's extend our hands to Ho'opono. Repeat after me. We love you. We bless you. We behold the Christ as you. God bless you for your work. Let's give them some love. Thank you. And that is an example of how we can use imagination in a way to touch the world. Not to curse the darkness, but to light our candle, to light our light. And we can make a difference. Listen to that inflow of spirit that wants to do a new work as you. God bless you. Thank you.
Lay it down, set it free. Let my heart rest and let it be. Lay it down, set it free. Lay it down on the altar of love. I was walking through the seasons of dark and lonely change. The world was on my shoulders and my faith was rearranged. Knew I'd never be given more than I could bear. Spirit reassured me there was an answer to my prayer. If I lay it down, set it free, let my heart rest and let it be. Lay it down, set it free, lay it down on the altar of love. Every single moment I'm left with a choice. I can stay in separation or listen to that voice that beckons me to open and be grateful every day. Simply reminds me that there is another way. if I lay it down, set it free, let my heart rest and let it be. Lay it down, set it free, lay it down on the altar of love. Love is all there is. Love will lead the way. If I lay it down, set it free, let my heart rest and let it be. Lay it down, set it free, lay it down on the altar of love. Lay it down on the altar of love. Lay it down on the altar of love. I lay it down.
Thank you, Rhea. Thank you. Well, as we get our offering, our tithes ready, have you had enough time to prepare it, to write your check? I can give you more time. I'd be glad to. As we place our offering, our tithes between your hands or over your heart, let's bless our offering, repeating after me. I bless my offering, knowing my life is abundant. I give in joy. I give in gratitude. And I give thanks. And so it is. Amen. Amen. Thank you.
Yeehaw! Don't be the first on the dance floor, the first to raise my hand, the first to state my opinion, the first to take a stand. I won't play it safe and wait for a sign. I'm gonna throw myself out there and let my light shine. Let it shine, let it shine. I'll let my big, bright, brilliant beam of radiant light shine. Ow! I'll be on Oprah and Jimmy, 60 Minutes and The View. They'll all be talking about me and all the things I do. I'll be the one who sets the bar, the one who's in the know. Folk will come to me to see where fashion trends will go. 'Cause I shine, yes I shine. I let my big, bright, brilliant beam of radiant light shine. For too many years I hid my light, fearing I was too much and who I was, it wasn't right. Then I heard a voice from within and up above saying, you're here to be a shining light and give and receive love. So I'm going for my dreams, nothing's in my way. Carpe diem is my mantra, practice kindness every day. I take time to connect, I take time to have fun. I wanna know I've used up every drop before my life is done. So I shine, yes I shine. I let my big, bright, brilliant beam of radiant light shine. Ow! Woo! and who I was just wasn't right. Then I heard a voice from within and up above saying, you're here to be a shining light and give and receive love. I am a woman of power, a woman of grace. The life that I've lived is in every wrinkle on my face. And I love myself so I can love you too. And I know when we're connected, there ain't nothing we can't do. So let's shine, let's all shine. Let's let our big, bright, brilliant, beam of radiant light shine. I see you shine, oh you shine. I see your big, bright, brilliant, beam of radiant light shine. Watch me shine, oh, oh shine. I let my big, bright, brilliant, beam of radiant light shine. Let us shine, oh, oh shine. Let's let our big, bright, brilliant, beam of radiant light shine. Yeah!
Thank you, Rhea. Thank you, Kevin, and the band. Wow, that was awesome. I had to move to the side so I could dance and clap a little bit. It is so good. Wow. As we extend our hands to this offering, we bless this offering into consciousness, knowing this represents infinite substance, of which there is no lack or limitation, circulating the divine good that our lives are. And we are grateful and we give thanks and we say together, and so it is. Amen. Amen. Thank you. Well, we have Keiki. Let's bring in our Keiki. We love our children.
You are the light of the world. You are the light of the world. You are the light of the world. Let your light shine. So let your light so shine. So let your light so shine. So let your light so shine. Light of the world.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. And while we were having an exciting time in here with Reverend Tim, our Keiki, our youth of Unity, children of Unity, were also having a wonderful lesson. And I know and I hear that some of you would like to share. Who would like? Saria? Okay.
Each day is a journey of self-discovery.
Yes, you are absolutely correct. And I know Sebastian has something to say as well.
Our imagination is a great and powerful power that we have.
It is, absolutely. And anyone else would like to share? Well, this does mark the first weekend of the month, and our children of Unity are celebrating their Child of the Month. And can I get a drum roll for that? Bronson is our Youth of the Month. Congratulations, Bronson.
Love our Keiki, and we appreciate those volunteers who help touch our Keiki's lives. We love you, and let's stand and join hands as we sing the peace song. Oh, the blessing, the blessing, blessing. We are going to bless our Keiki and our volunteers. Please keep Reverend Tim in order. All right, repeat after me. We bless you.
We bless you.
We love you.
We love you.
We behold the Christ as you.
We behold the Christ as you.
And we are so glad you're here.
And we are so glad.
Let's give them some love. Thank you. All right, thank you. All right, now let's join hands. Find a friendly hand or an unfriendly one. They need it too. And let's sing together our peace song and then Aloha Oe.
Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Aloha, Eke ona ona no ikaliko. My fond embrace, aoea ea, until we meet again.
Oh, new people, if new people want to come up, I'd love to meet you.